Warning: this show's content may not be suitable for some viewers. It may not reflect the views and opinions of iPlayWinner and its affiliates. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, 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 and welcome to another exciting episode of Super Desperation Radio. I'll be getting everybody in here in a second. How's everybody doing?
I was doing better when the good rap was on.
The good rap?
And then it disappeared.
Yeah.
This is the better rap.
Okay, so I just want to point out that you have horrible taste in music.
You have horrible taste in music. Your rap Easy E is weak, man. I'm sorry.
No, you played censored Easy E. You don't play censored rap.
I'm sorry. I was saving myself my eardrums.
And whatever that second song you played was, that was complete and utter shit.
That third one, that Spotify song?
That's Spotify commercial, man. We getting around Twitch ads, son.
So yeah, how's everyone doing tonight?
I could be better.
Personally, I'm actually feeling a bit miserable today, but don't let that stop any of us.
I think to buck the trend, I'm going to say I'm doing fucking fantastic.
Oh, well, I'm glad somebody
At least one of the four, is doing fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what about you?
Definitely not contemplating suicide.
Aw, man.
Lucky
that
you.
doesn't sound anything like you.
Yep.
Man. I need to collect my thoughts for a second now.
Let me know when you're good.
Okay, I'm good.
All right, because we can talk about these results here, specifically Starbase.
Oh my god. Well, I mean,
just give us the results.
All right. So the results were BBZ, which is he got first, and that's actually it's actually been a while since he's been getting first in any tournament, so that was cool. Second place was El Gallo Negro, and third place was Fixel, and fourth place was not me. It was in fact Gindi, who not only put me in losers, but also knocked me out of the tournament.
So you're saying Gendy gave you the wallop?
Yeah. It was horrible.
All right, we'll get back to this, because I want to discuss you getting the wallop from Gendy a little later. But you mentioned a little while ago about BBZ playing to a better quality, or maybe a more original quality, like with more intensity than you had seen in a recent time.
Yeah, I did. I mean, he's been ever since, I want to say, since Payne stopped playing, he kind of lost his edge, I guess. Like, he kind of lost his reason to get better, and he just continuously just played to troll people, And there was a brief moment where he was competing with Jose, but then he just didn't care enough to practice and get any better. So, Jose was dominant for the longest time. But yesterday, it looked like, back when Southtown was young and we were just all free to BBZ. Where he would just blaze through tournaments in winners bracket and just take it home.
Damn, Blaze.
Blaze! BB Blaze!
There you go. What do you think put the fire under his ass?
I don't know. Honestly,
I almost got him.
Get out of here, LeBron. We don't need you right now.
I didn't talk to him about it because he was actually, afterwards, he was kind of quiet, he seemed like he was, not really completely content with how he won. I guess he thought it was too close. It should have been much more of a dominant performance from him. But I can imagine, he just got sick of losing to Jose and other people because he was losing to Fixel for a little bit too. And I think maybe losing to both Jose and Fixel finally made him realize, what the fuck, man? Like, I used to destroy these guys. Now they're a threat. So,
I think also what might have the final straw was at NCI, while King of Fighters wasn't streamed or recorded or anything, there was a small tournament, and Payne did beat BBZ in the grand finals. So who knows? Maybe he got his reason to play again.
That's true. The only time I've ever seen BBZ play to the caliber that we all have known and grown to expect of him is when he was competing with Payne, and I guess losing to Payne kind of he's having the flashbacks.
In the trenches.
Yeah,
oh man, I can't get this guy.
But yeah, so he's just over there I don't know, because I don't know if he expects Payne to keep coming out to tournaments, because it sounds like just because KOF was at NCI that day that he got a chance to play Pain, and that might have been a one-time thing. But maybe that was just enough for him because he came in yesterday and completely walloped everybody, especially
I want to say he
LeBron.
completely walloped everyone. LeBron overall did the best against him. BBZ didn't seem to know how to fight against his EX Iori for the most part, and LeBron's inexperience in this game showed because he definitely outplayed him the first 2 rounds of each match.
I think
I
it
just
was.
choke. I'm the choke master. Never won
Yeah,
tourney.
then you choked. Yeah.
I'm just gonna ask right now. Like, is he our guest today?
No, I'm gonna be going to school soon, so
Oh, well, anybody, in case nobody really knows who's that fourth voice or the fifth voice is, that is LeBron, lurking in our chat. So, give him a round of applause for almost beating BBZ.
Why would you ask people to applaud when
Yeah.
we can't hear it? You just made somebody in the chat has definitely just started clapping
Send
at
him
their
some
desk
positive
at work.
vibes.
Because we're Americans. That's what we do.
We clap for nothing.
No, hold on. Let me just stop you guys there. We're Americans. We don't applaud losers. Okay?
That's
Well, now, I wouldn't say
Oh, no.
that.
it's okay.
Anyway, so the 3 of you were there, Hell Pockets, Walkman, LeBon. What did you guys think of Starbase overall, starting with you, Mr. Pockets?
I mean, it's my 3rd time there, so, for a tournament. So, it's pretty much the standard for me. Like, it's a nice venue. I wish that they had more standardized seating equipment because, it seems like a freaking nitpicky thing, but, like, when you're sitting on a stool that's way too high off the ground and you have no level to, like, place your feet on and you got your stick in your lap, it's kind of rough playing on that, It's like you're always trying to keep your stick in your lap and keep it from slipping off, and it can mess with your execution a little bit. But other than that, I had fun, had a great time. It was good to be back out there. So thanks to Video Bob for giving us that venue.
Oh, that's good. Walkman?
I actually was really glad that I was able to make it out to Lost in Space. I generally do like to, just see the areas where people play what it is. I mean, all the people that did play there pretty much were the ones I had already known. But, it was really nice up there in San Rafael. Like, the area was nice. Driving up there wasn't so much. Not only did it take a while, but I had a scare with my car not knowing what happened. It seems perfectly fine now, but I definitely should get it looked at. But the arcade, it's nice. They had a new X-Men pinball machine in there, and I played that for a lot. But the owner seems really nice, and the setups were pretty good. They had a whole bunch of MVS cabs in there and whatnot. So, yeah, I definitely love to go back sometime, but, I don't know when that time will be.
Okay. LeBon, how about you? This is the first tournament you showed to in a while, and people generally want to see you play when they hear you're on there, because every
They
time you
do?
go to a tournament, you do really well, and then you choke. So, yeah.
It's because I don't play the game.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the arcade first. Like, the only reason I was disappointed is that there was no CBS2 out there. But otherwise, it's a nice venue. I really like the Neo Geo availability of games, although the setup for KOF, the button layout was Chinese layout. I was really surprised and didn't want to play on it. The other Neo Geo cab had like a really, really strong spring, so you actually had to do a P90X workout just trying to work on the arcade stick. Otherwise, those were good. Tourney wise, yeah. Let's see. BBZ, he played well in the second game, much better than the first. I think he started to see where his problems were at. But yeah, I think what ultimately killed me, other than running into Explosion Super, was I wasn't used to his his Shenmue actually jumping in properly, because as good as NorCal is, a lot of everyone just does Shenmue, jump CD, hop CD forward, then they whiff, then they land into my crouch B and get comboed and die. And BBZ was one of the few people that stopped doing that. Then I got hit by weird corsical forward uppercuts, then got killed by Super. Other than that, I think I brought it close, but I'm just too rusty. I just feel more ashamed of losing to Jose because he just kept doing the same things that he always does, which I usually beat. But since I played 98 just right before, I was more into those habits, and those habits get me killed in 13. So I lost to him. So I feel really bad about that, and more bad that I lost money because I'm hella poor. Otherwise, like, I played everyone else who was in like top 4-ish in O2 and I destroyed everybody. The best one who performed well was BBZ because he has experience. And yeah, his Oyashiro is decent. Like, he knows the magic of far B. He knows how to tick into those stupid command throws. And guess what? I alternate guarded him and punished, then hit him with cool BC combos. So for me, I have the moral victory in it. And I know I'm a decent player. It's just, yeah, I don't play 13. I don't think I'll ever be able to play it because I live in Central Valley. So, and unless like the Steamworks game comes out, online's good, then I'll be able to play more. But other than that, I don't think, like, other than NCR this year, then Evo, I think I'll quit entering 13 tournaments. That's it. Because, like, I have no way to play the game. So,
Man, you heard it here first. LeBron quits 13.
like, why do I enter a tourney that I can't play in a game? I can't even speak English right now. But yeah, like, if, like, magically, because of the whole Steamworks stuff and, people start having O2 tourneys, 98 tourneys, I'll enter. But that's not the big game right now, and I have no way to play 13, so that's how it is. So I've been playing Monster Hunter, CVS 2, and Guilty Gear for the past months. That's it. Been also learning a bit of Skullgirls. Yes.
Oh, man.
Good man.
That's it.
Well, before we switch gears, I actually want to thank Aver Media for sponsoring the tournament yesterday. They provided a pop bonus to all the tournaments, and they had some gear to give away. I don't know if they're going to be doing that again or not, but that was really cool of them. And people who won were $40 richer.
My only regret is that I got nothing out of the deal.
Same here. Ooh.
No, I mean, I got an experience, and it was pretty sick to go out there and see everyone. So, I mean, that's good enough.
Cool.
Same here. I was able to teach a white guy a bit about KOF. He's supposed to hit me up on email soon, so I could like train him up in GGPO. So not only will I have trained up the white Sparkster to play KOF, I train another white person. Feels good.
Indoctrinating him to your socialist freaking an agenda. I see how it is.
See, oh, man, you fucking read me. That's why I play 98. It's like the Chinese game, dude. Super social, super commie.
Okay. So, Hellbox, what were the results again? He said first BBZ, second El Gallo,
yes.
third Fixel, fourth Gendy.
I believe so, yeah. LeBron, you didn't get fourth, right?
No.
No, he tied with you.
Okay.
Yo, high five.
Better
Again!
than me. I got blown out by... Well, it wasn't that bad, actually, but I did lose. I lost to mainly my inexperience with certain character matchups. But, I mean, other than that, I mean, it's not, I can't really expect too much out of myself. But yeah, I went 0-2 versus Reiki and for US. So, there you all have it. You didn't hear me on stream. That's me. I'm really trying to take up the crown of worst player in NorCal.
Ooh.
That's cool, man. You and Chris will fight for it later.
Oh,
Dude.
man.
I got him, dude. I just burned him.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was this past weekend's tournament. We also had West Coast Rumble, which is it's actually the last week for West Coast Rumble, and the runback's going to be starting up again at Super Arcade. Sanchez and I were there. We did a little commentary. I entered. Sanchez, you didn't enter, right?
Yeah, I think I showed up late or was broke. One of those two.
Okay, yeah. So what did you think of the event overall?
I actually liked it a lot. Like, there was the fact that we have pretty decent turnout these last couple of weeks was pretty fun.
Mhm.
And the fact that it was Mondo streaming and we can be informative and jackasses,
Oh, yeah.
I thought was a
always-
welcome change of pace.
I mean, I will say that, like, yeah, everybody seemed a lot more comfortable, like, at least on the mic at WCR. I know you two were, so that was cool. But at the same time, I can understand why something like that is definitely,
Frowned upon.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like you get to be more comfortable when you're doing it because you don't have that voice in the back of your head saying, "Man, am I going to offend some spics with this?" Because the answer is usually yes.
Hey, that's what we did.
Yeah, we definitely offended some spics.
For 2 consecutive weeks, man.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
the
know how we
thing
did
is
it.
that you mean it's not that big of a deal, right?
Well, it depends on
Yeah,
how
man.
you look at it. From our standpoint, like obviously Sanchez and I don't care who we offend, but we were talking to Mondo, the guy who runs IE Battlegrounds. He said he couldn't upload the replays from not this past week, the week before that, because we were a bit too insensitive. So, yeah, sucks. But I mean, I get it. Like I know why. If you want your videos to actually get the CPM and all that stuff, please shut that dog up. Yeah, if you want to get your videos all the CPMs and shit, you have to be like PC and be as clean as possible.
And that's
And
something. Oh, go ahead.
I'm just saying that's what Level Up's trying to do. They're just trying to make everything clean. They've been doing that for quite some time now. It's not anything new, so anyone getting on the mics at a Level Up stream should know that by now.
Yeah, and Mondo was telling us it wasn't so much like the intensity of anything we said; it was just like the consistency of it, where it was
Yeah.
like, yeah, it was just
It's just too
it was a
much.
constant stream.
A relentless assault.
It's
Yeah.
kinda,
So if you ended up watching this past Thursday, you'll see that we actually did commentate the matches with like slight bits of jackassery in between.
Yeah, it's a reasonable amount of jackassery, and I mean we had pretty good matches. So
Oh, yeah.
what was Reynolds taking first, and then Ricky taking second over Commander Duck.
Yeah, the Duck. Duck actually had a chance to take it. He messed up. He got hugged a bit too much by Mr. Takuma.
Yeah, he let Takuma get a little too friendly with him.
Yeah. Also, Four Leaf showed up this week, playing actually really, really well. He almost took out Ricardo, but he ended up losing to his own mistakes, or he just choked, one or the other. I forgot to ask him exactly what happened, but his matches were the fourth place match was played off stream between Ricardo and Four Leaf, and it was like a really good match. It should have been on stream, just how good it was. If I had my camera, I'd have recorded it. But yeah, Four Leaf is definitely improving again, and if he takes the game seriously, he probably will be one of the top players again.
Yeah, it'd be great to see him come out again, especially since he uses what we can consider offbeat characters for the most part.
Yeah,
Like, you really don't see that much competitive Athena, or even mature for that matter.
Mhm.
And he definitely uses both. And RJ is usually pretty creative, so it'd be great to have more exposure for those characters for the general audience.
yeah, and his style is actually much different than everyone else's, which is odd. Like he's been playing KOF for a very long time. He's been playing with Duck. He's been playing with Mr. KOF and Kane 317. But if you look at his style compared to theirs, it's as if he came from a completely different scene.
well, speaking as someone who's played him like several times in competition, I'd have to agree. Like it was always impossible to, I guess, get a firm foothold in what he was going to do. A lot of the times, especially earlier on, I spent a lot of time just like, thinking about what would beat, like like especially with mature, like what would beat her freaking jump move, right? Because early on in KOF 13's lifespan, that was hitting everybody. That was hitting me a lot, and I mean, I'm not going to talk about the SCR thing because that's jokes. But the times that I have played him in tournament, it was like I couldn't play so much solid as much as I could react to some of the things. Like I remember you saw when you guys first came up from SoCal, and I got that one round on him because he threw the fireball and did like some stupid full jump, and I hit him with the EX rising tackle, and that was like the dumbest thing I've ever seen him do, and that was like the last time he ever did that. And then he scraped me up. But yeah, I always enjoy watching Four Leaf play. I think he could be, a lot better. He got out of his pools in SCR in winners, so.
Mhm.
And as much as people make jokes about that, I think that wasn't a fluke. I think he just,
Oh no, it wasn't a fluke. I personally didn't watch the matches, but everyone I spoke to, they said he actually did a damn thing and just took people out. Everyone he played, he convincingly beat.
Yeah, so there you have it. Hope to see him back. Still my favorite competitor.
Yeah, his biggest weakness is that he doesn't leave his house.
Yeah. It's true. I mean, it may sound like a joke, but that is his biggest weakness. We would like him to show up to more things, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, and once again, the run back starts up again this week, along with Wednesday Night Fights at Super Arcade. Rumors of Super Arcade being shut down already. Lies. Don't believe those. We'll touch on that a little bit later. But for now, let's move on to some international tournaments. There was a major tournament in Kuwait that I know Justin Wong went to. I don't know if any other big names went. And there was a KOF tournament in Mexico, which Hellpocket spelled the Cheetos tournament.
Oh, come.
That was a joke, Chris. A very, very good joke. We know how to pronounce it. We know how to say it. But hey, Cheetos just sounds so amazing. Hellpockets, that picture that I put up in chat.
Yeah.
We'll put that up.
All
The
right.
last picture I put up.
I know, I see it. I'm going to do it.
Yeah. So, did any of you guys watch the Kuwait tournament?
I unfortunately did not get to see any of the King of Fighters. The bit I did see, I was in class, so it was really hard for me to actually watch it.
Yeah, I don't get international internet, unfortunately.
I was super busy all weekend except for the tournament, so I didn't see anything.
Yeah, so I guess none of us saw the Kuwaiti tournament. It was mainly a Street Fighter event. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just I personally didn't care for watching another Street Fighter 4 tournament.
Yeah, the big draw is that they had Wong and I believe Daigo over there.
I know Tokido was there. He was playing Tekken from what I saw.
Trying to find the
Well,
results.
here we have Boner Hitler telling us that the stream was boring, so I'm just going to take that as fact because he is a
I
fact.
think that has to be
He's a
fact.
fact checker.
Yeah.
Yep. So Kuwait stream was boring. I'm sure it was a great event for people that were there, but it was boring.
Step
Fact.
your game up.
So then we had the Mexico tournament, the Cheetos games, or
Oh, it's
Cheeto
Chet-
games.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you should.
I got to catch a little bit of it. I was actually busy with a few other things, but for the most part, what I saw was pretty good. You could see that the Mexican players are developing a lot more. Their style is consistent with the way they usually play, so they play a very heavy rushdown style still, just like they did in 2K2, and you can see it works for them. And this tournament, the results for this one are hold on, I had them up here. I think it was Kula got first, Koopa got second, third was Wedo, and fourth was Bala. So a lot of people that I spoke to are kind of like, whoa, hey, Bala got fourth. He didn't take top three. What's going on here? I personally feel Bala still hasn't adjusted to the style of the Mexican players, even though he himself is a Mexican. He played here in SoCal, which the style our players use down here is very similar to the Mexican style, but it's not as rushdown heavy as they are. And if you watch the videos, you'll see none of you guys saw it at all.
Unfortunately.
I've been looking for replays, but nothing's up yet.
It was on their Twitch page. Let me get the Twitch channel for everyone so they can check it out. Yeah, it's just Chetos Games. Here. Or, I'm sorry, Cheetos Games. Cheetos.
I don't know which one it is.
I misspoke, everyone. Here, I'm gonna put it in chat. The replays should be there. Yeah, they have the replays up. So it's quite a few matches. Quality is good. I don't remember how the commentary was. I wasn't paying attention. I just had it muted. But it was a good event.
I mean, well, I think what people are probably going to take from this mostly, like, and you already said, Bala got fourth place, which means he didn't get top three, and, that's kind of a, at least for the KOF community, that's kind of a big deal because he's so dominant up here, and then he goes down there and can't even get top 3, which means, there's 3 players that, very well could come to an American tournament and just, take out a lot of people. And what's his, freaking, Luis Chow was there too, right?
Yeah, he was there.
And he was, what did he get, like 16th?
He got like top 13 for sure.
Okay.
Let me find out right now. I had the results up here. Luis Cha, yeah, he got 7th.
Yeah,
tied for 7th with Violent Kane.
Chetos games. But no, that means they're just breeding a lot of monsters down there, and that's really cool. I mean, I hope some of those guys can come up here, maybe for Evo, or maybe another major for Road to Evo. Something related to Evo, possibly. I cannot wait to see them.
The 2 most likely events they'd actually go to, or the 3 most likely ones they would go to, would be NCR, Texas Showdown, and Final Round.
Okay.
I know 2 of those aren't Evo events, but still, the Final Round is just known to be the big KOF tournament to them. Texas Showdown is in Houston. It should be easy-ish for them to get there compared to NorCal. And it would be cheaper for them to go to a Texas Showdown, which, by the way, is ran by the original organizers. For those who don't know, it's Javi and Ramna are running it again without the help of Planet Zero's Emotion Gear. So,
Oh, you mean everybody's favorite Emotion Gear?
Yep, everyone's favorite. So hopefully things turn out to be good for them again, because they were a legitimate tournament, or a legit tournament before they joined forces with Planet Zero, and then their name just got dragged in the dirt, and yeah, it sucks for them.
Bathroom combat.
What's that, Sanchez?
They got a little fucked over.
Yeah, just a little.
Hey, man, that's why pencils have erasers. Well, no, that's good. That's good to hear. Other than that, there wasn't really much else going on internationally. I haven't seen anything come out of Japan this week, so I mean, that would pretty much be it for our recap, huh?
Yeah, I did want to point out one thing though, because I know there's a lot of like growing scenes throughout the United States or wherever the fuck, even if it's international, that don't really get that much exposure. Like I know there's a bunch of KOF tournaments that happen in Seattle that get streamed, I think, on Thursdays, but it's really hard to get a hold of the results every now and then because some of that stuff's not SRK front page material for whatever reason. So if you guys want to send us the results directly, we'd be more than happy to talk about them because I try to catch some of the stuff from out of state as much as I can to try to get as much exposure as we can get.
Yeah, go to things like Seattle, Midwest, or Arizona, and any place. I know there's small scenes out there that sometimes do things.
Yeah,
so help us, help you, help us. Help you.
That way we won't get the results wrong ever again.
Yeah, because I hate it when like all our recaps are like super Cali centric, and it's like, yeah, SoCal did this, NorCal blew dicks.
Oh, yeah, pretty much.
Oh
man, just had to sneak one in before the end of the segment, didn't you?
Of course, I had to.
All right, well, yeah, that's
hit us up on Twitter or our Facebook page. Tweet us at Kofcast, and facebook.com/Kofcast.
Please do.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for recaps. Now we can get down to business. A lot of stuff to talk about that happened this last week. Not necessarily in KOF, but in the FGC in general. I've been told that apparently MLP Fighting His Magic has been canceled due to a cease and desist letter. Everybody's been sending me, what would you call it? Condolences, I guess. I don't know why. I would be upset by this.
Biggest My Little Pony fan
I
in the world.
am not the biggest. I'm not even a My Little Pony fan. This is some kind of fabrication that has been drummed up by the SoCal crew. Thought we were friends, but apparently you guys had other ideas. But anyway, as far as this whole thing goes, I'm upset that a fan project got canceled. Not because it was MLP, but because it was simply something that guys were working on for free, and I'm assuming weren't planning on making any money off of it because they couldn't legally. I mean, when you have a product and you have a group of people that are so dedicated to it that they're making, they're being creative about how they pay tribute to it. I mean, you don't shut it down. That's what I believe. I mean, you can weigh your options and say, like, this might somehow come back and bite us in the ass, but looking at it logically, what the hell is that damn scratching noise? Sorry.
I thought you were being a DJ, Chris.
No.
You know back.
But you don't shut it down, and logically speaking, there was no way that Fighting Is Magic could come back and bite Hasbro in the ass. I don't believe.
Well, it's not like from an obvious perspective that it could bite them in the ass, but you have to look at it from maybe a greater point of view. So they're a company that they have this particular IP, and it's basically aimed at kids, right?
Yes.
So a lot of times these companies won't want their characters to be in violent situations. Like, this is pretty tame as far as violence goes, the MLP game.
Right.
But they probably don't want it to be any violence whatsoever with their show. Like, there was the whole thing with Bumblebee being a Camaro in these, like, Bayformer movies.
Mm-hmm.
Because Volkswagen did not want to be associated with what they considered to be war toys or violent toys. So Hasbro could probably have a very similar point of view, which is, we don't want our ponies fighting each other. This is not what we want to expose kids to. And the other thing you might have to bring into consideration is, let's say kids Google search just My Little Pony, right? The fighting game is going to ultimately be one of the top things that show up just because of how popular it is. And a lot of times it might be linked to from sites about My Little Pony that aren't exactly,
I don't know what you're talking about. Please elaborate.
Less than reputable sources.
Yeah, like, if you go into like a Google search of My Little Pony and you just like, hey, here's an image of high quality image of Fluttershy. Let me save this to my computer, as I'm sure you've done before. You'll notice that the file name will be like Fluttershy want to fuck boner 420. Like, okay, this would be pretty awkward for a kid to save on his computer. Isn't that right, Chris?
Well, first of all, I'm gonna respond to your first point, and you do have a valid, argument that Hasbro may not want their IP to be involved in violent situations, at least against the main cast. But the thing is, the show is, from what I've heard, created by the Powerpuff Girls creator.
No, the wife.
The wife of the Powerpuff Girls creator. Okay. Oh. Well, and I'm not going to tell you how I know this, but there is violence in the show. And it's not like, stupid, old school 90s, I'm not going to punch anybody directly in the face kind of violence. There is definitely, some choreographed fight scenes that have found their way onto YouTube. And the whole idea that they don't want to expose the same people who watch that show to the level of violence that would be in the fan game is complete bullshit. Like, it's clearly based off of, material that is out there in existence,
All right. I'm glad you know enough about this to actually bring up the good counterpoint there.
Yes.
Now, what about the second one, though?
The second one? I don't know nothing about that, honestly.
So,
I do not know anything about, anatomically correct pony dolls that give you sense to me on Facebook.
Sad.
So now the main question a lot of people have been asking is, what does this mean for My Little Ponies at Evo? Because that game was guaranteed to be in, and now it got C and D'd. And yeah, this is something that a lot of fans will still want to be there, but the likelihood of it being there isn't really going to happen because Evo doesn't want to start any trouble with Hasbro.
To be fair, I think the most logical thing was, since it was going to merely be an exhibition anyways with pod bonus, they should just move that pod bonus over to the other exhibition of Skullgirls and just add it to that pot, and then everybody will be happy, right?
Sure, why not?
I mean, yeah, it puts Evo in a very weird position. It puts Main Six in a very weird position, and it puts the people who donated originally, and then were already told that their donations pretty much didn't count. I guess as far as like getting it into the running, and so to have that happen, and then just basically to say it's not going to be there altogether, like I'd be pissed.
Nah, the best laid plans of mice and men. It's not like Evo had anything to do with this.
No, it wouldn't. I'm not saying that they would blame Evo for it, but it's definitely something that hurts the fans only. Like these are people who were willing to put out their own money for a game that was basically free just so they could play it, and have the I guess the sheer joy of playing fighting is magic.
Speaking of the fans, I think the fan reaction was absolutely hilarious to the C&D. From snippets that I've seen from pictures and screen caps on the internet, it's more like the bronies, as they call themselves. It seems more like they feel that My Little Pony is theirs and not Hasbro's, and rather that they feel entitled to have everything go the way they want it to, or something to that effect. Like, they were literally talking about, like, they would post the phone number and address to the main offices, talking about how they're gonna like send bad things in the mail or burn it down or attack Hasbro because they see indeed this game. And it's like, where do you get off? Like, this is their... You don't own My Little Pony like they do. They own the rights and everything, and what they says pretty much goes with their properties. That's how it works. But to be that up in arms, and I mean, this is the company that makes their favorite show and all their toys and stuff, and they want to destroy them and dismantle them because apparently it wasn't what they saw fit. I mean, if these guys got enough like freaking money to sling around, why don't they just like, I don't know, is Hasbro a publicly traded company? Can they just become primary shareholders and all that and take over?
You want the bronies to be primary shareholders of Hasbro?
No, I don't. But I'm talking, like, instead of going for the anarchy, dismantle the establishment kind of approach and just, I don't know, it just feels like they're just biting the hand that feeds them, but then thus the hand that feeds them is also feeding off the one who bites, so whatever.
Well, there's two things there. One, like, we have to examine just exactly who is Hasbro's biggest, like, not necessarily target audience, but who is buying all their stuff. Like, where is their main income coming from? Is it coming from bronies, or is it coming from a bunch of little girls who just want the dolls? Like, that's just something that I can't really...
I honestly want to say it's probably about 50-50 split, because I feel that more little girls would want to buy these, but then there's obviously the concentrated adult male fans who are also just shoveling hundreds of thousands of dollars upon merchandise.
Correct.
Hold on, but to that, is the only adult male fans, or the only adult bronies, or whatever the hell you want to call them, are they only males, or are there also...
No, there are females too.
Okay. Because I'm going to be honest when I say I don't know jack shit about this outside of Hell Pocket's stories.
What?
But I've seriously never seen like any women like show interest in it outside of cosplay.
Cosplay?
Yeah.
I don't want to see that.
You might want to see it.
No, why would I want to see it?
I know you, Chris. You'll want to see it.
Just for like morbid curiosity?
No.
Of course not.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be something worth looking at as far as like, because if they are providing the main... Sorry, I'm going to stop using the word main because I see what's happening.
Oh yeah, it took you long enough.
If they are providing the lion's share of the profits, then I think they should have, some kind of effect on what decisions Hasbro decides to do with their IP. If the lion's share of the profits demand to have a fan-made fighting game, then goddammit, they should have it. Why shouldn't they?
Well, another thing is the cease and desist comes out, but they have legitimately not accepted any donations, nor are they planning on making any money with this product. So can they actually be legitimately shut down? Could this like be filed under fair use?
I don't know.
They have not accepted.
David. Yeah, let's call him. What
Is he like on right now?
No, I mean let's call him.
Oh,
let's get him on the bat phone.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just. What was I going to say about the other? You made another point that I wanted to respond to after the shareholder comment.
You're gonna say the word main again.
No, I'm not. In fact, I am removing that from my vocabulary. From now on, everything with the word that shall not be named will be replaced with lion's share.
Didn't some of their staff also resign after the cease and desist letter?
I mean, probably. I would imagine that immediately they're like, well, we tried the best we can, but this is a company with lots of money and real lawyers. We're just a couple of dudes making a game.
It was just a bunch of fans doing stuff. It's really no bigger than, your average fan game. Like somebody in chat mentioned the Chrono Trigger Resurrection, or actually there were two fan games, but the Resurrection one is the most famous C&D situation where they had, it wasn't the best looking demo reel, but it looked like, it was good enough to get people salivating for it. And, Square Enix shut it down, and a bunch of people were just as they were this time, really upset by it. And they're going to be mad. Let's just be honest. It's a knee-jerk reaction. People just like to get pissed whenever they can't get what they want, and it's part of being a human being.
Yeah, I'm assuming that the cease and desist obviously has to have at least some sway, considering there are other fan projects like this that have been shut down, like everybody trying to make the most boring, Pokemon MMOs and such out there. And
well, there was a case of the that Streets of Rage game.
Yeah,
that Sega shut down.
And yet it came out, right?
Yeah, sort of.
It came out and then Sega pulled it right away. The thing about all this, I'm not 100% familiar with everything, but from what I remember from all my law classes, a company that owns an IP can shut down whatever they want, and in order for say the My Little Pony guys to continue working on the project, they have to take it to court and prove it's fair use. Because even if they're not making any money on it, there's still legalities where they can't use anything.
Oh, like maybe for libel or slander of something like that.
Yeah.
It's like you took a picture of Beyonce and made her look ridiculous.
That could be parody, though.
Is it changed 80%? Is it changed 80%? I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It was kind of the same. The other thing is, I never thought I would say this, but I think Hasbro could actually take a page out of Capcom's book and see that there's some good to be done here, and, maybe say, we're not going to let you make money off of this, but we think this could be good for, building more fan base and for people to, know who we are. Because, because Capcom did that with Street Fighter Cross Mega Man, and while it didn't necessarily do anything for Mega Man or Street Fighter, it was still cool nonetheless. And it was a free project, so it cost nobody anything except for time and sweat.
Yeah.
I definitely thought you were going to say that Hasbro should take a book from, or should take a page from Capcom's book and start making bad toys.
Well, I don't know. I don't own any Hasbro toys anymore, but my friend's a Transformers collector, and he hasn't been pleased for the last 3-4 years.
We're not going to get into that, man. This is a sensitive subject for me.
Are you still hurting?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Just these masterpiece collections. Anyway, moving on.
Yes.
Yeah. I did want to thank a bunch of the people that donated to Super Arcade. Because that's awesome, and thanks. And I can finally play Third Strike again. There should be an official something or other from Watts pretty soon, but it seems that for the most part it isn't going anywhere.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, you guys can give yourself a round of applause.
Yeah, just start clapping at your desk again.
Something about the claims of my death are greatly exaggerated, something like that. Can't think of it right now. Too much of a being.
Actually, you pretty much did.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I believe Super Arcade is at 8,000 right now. Plus, I don't know how many cabs they have right now. But when I was there last Thursday for West Coast Rumble, they seem like they're doing well. People were on just about every single cab that was there.
I mean, that's really cool. I mean, there's I still think there's a need for places like Super Arcade and pretty much everywhere that's going to have a scene. Not necessarily so people can come out and play whenever they want, but it's kind of the best kind of venue for something that's not huge. You know,
Mhm.
it's better than having to go to, Fuddruckers and sit in the kids' party room. You know,
Hmm.
you ever been to a Chuck E. Cheese tournament, man? The pizza sucks.
Yeah, it ain't the best. To answer a question or a statement in the chat here that's asking if the Super Arcade thing was kind of like what happened to Arcade Infinity, the particulars of the Super Arcade thing aren't exactly public knowledge, but I can tell you that it's not the same thing because the issue with Super Arcade has to deal with the transition from one owner to the other, whereas Arcade Infinity had issues with the plaza itself where it was located. There was just much higher rent than they had expected at the beginning of the year. And with them being in the red, there wasn't really a reasonable way for them to maintain it. So it just kind of disappeared. So the guy didn't fucking spend all of his life savings keeping an arcade open. So it's not exactly the same.
No, he's gonna turn into video Bob otherwise, man. Nah, Video Bob's cool. Somebody told me he was going crazy, but I think he's gotten only more charming because of it.
Also, the plaza where Arcade Infinity was located was pretty funny that they initially hated having the arcade there.
Really?
Yeah, they just didn't like it. They kind of like... There's something just about LA County in general is just kind of against arcades. That's why you don't see that many open up. And they initially hated having the arcade there, and then when it did ultimately close, they actually contacted the owner of AI to try to get him to come back if they could like strike a deal, because they realized how much foot traffic they lost by not having the arcade there.
Ah. See, we provide an important service to everybody.
Yeah, man. We're a important part of the economic ecosystem.
Yes. But it's probably because, whenever arcades open up, people initially think like, oh, there's going to be a bunch of truancy, there's going to be, especially like in NorCal, we had sort of a history with people getting stabbed in arcades and, whatnot. And people were just like, well, we can't open up any more arcades in NorCal because the Triad's going to show up and just kill everybody when they lose at Alpha 3. So, yeah, it's always rough, trying to work around the other businesses there. Even if you're in like a shitty area of that, like when San Mateo, when Game Center was going to open up, a lot of people were giving Young crap for doing that. Basically, they were just afraid of all the things I just mentioned. But at the same time, San Mateo is just there's nothing ever happening there. The only thugs you see there are basically the 12-year-old skaters who, maybe got out of class a little too early and are drinking their slushies on the corner and pissing off the old men. That's the worst of it. So I think, America needs to get over the arcade stigma. We're good people, I swear. Well, most of us.
Just don't punch us in the face first.
Well, the whole thing with like all the negative aspects of arcade culture came from they mainly came from SoCal back in the early to mid 90s when a lot of the gangbangers would come into the arcades and just cause shit.
I think that was California in general.
From what I'm told, it was much worse here. Everyone I talked to from NorCal say it was bad up there, but there weren't as many stabbings and shootings. And
oh man, are we gonna have a freaking story contest?
not on this show. No.
Not on this show. That's gonna be for a later show. Okay.
That'll be a special show where we just have everyone call in about wherever region they're from, because Mike Z's definitely told me stories about being from miscellaneous Midwest state he's from. I don't remember if it's Minnesota or Wisconsin.
Minnesota.
There you go. It's pretty sure it's Minnesota. Where he was playing a game of Super Turbo versus some like 35-year-old guy, and then somebody taps the dude on the shoulder. He turns around and he's just fucking decked into the machine.
Holy shit!
Well, I mean, obviously Mike won that game, but it wasn't, the best of wins. Yeah, so arcade violence isn't just, limited to places with gangbangers. It's kind of everywhere.
Exactly.
But it's always those things where it's super exaggerated, so it makes it seem like it's the norm.
Do you think it's because, it's obviously just a case of people being angry that they've lost, right?
Not always.
Some people get hit because they like. Some people hit people because they win, but they didn't like the way they win, and like I've seen it happen. I've seen guys who, and they may have lost a bunch of times before that one, but when they finally beat the dude and cut through the bullshit, instead of thinking, "Hey, I just learned how to be a better player," they get up and say, "Eat my fucking fist, bitch! Suck on that shit with your cheap ass gimmicks."
It just reminded me of Starbase. I totally forgot about this, but my friend Devin was playing JD, and after he beat JD slammed his stick down and threw his phone at the ground. Unfortunately, there's no video of that, but I remember seeing this distinctly. The image still vivid in my mind.
Ah, the boy has a bright future.
Fact.
Okay.
Oh, since we kind of came back to the
Oh no.
you versus Gendy.
Oh no.
I really want to talk about this.
Are you telling me that you didn't turn around and deck Gendy in the face?
Yeah, that's what I was hoping, is that you would just turn around and be like, "Welcome to Starbase, knuckle," and then just, deck him.
Just be like, "Hey man, Athena's fucking cheap." Just slap him right across the face.
I don't want this Kawhi ass bullshit.
Oh my god. Go ahead. I'm ready.
Well, I mean, I watched through the replay, and it's like, I hate seeing you lose in certain ways, because it's like, hey, Chris is a really smart player, and he's gotten better over time, and he's gonna get hit by Wake Up Super Command Throw every time. It's like you don't want to win. I think you respect people too much. Like, you started the round versus Athena by throwing a hurricane at her that just got reflected back in your face. In what world does that sound like a good idea?
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Famous last words.
I was gonna throw it, and I was gonna run. He was gonna reflect it. I was gonna roll, and then tiger kick him or something. So yeah, that was a bad idea from the start.
Okay. Then there's a whole getting super thrown. Because I went through the rest of the videos. I'm like, okay, maybe this was like a one-time thing, and this is the only time that Gendy brought this out. Like, maybe he blocks on Wake Up all times, right? And he caught you by doing something different. No, this was not the case. Every time that Gendy woke up and someone was in that like proximity of being on his front lawn, he did Wake Up Super Command Throw.
Oh yeah, he did. Even though the guy was mid-air.
Yeah, just had to be on his lawn. You could be in his airspace above his lawn, but if you were in his lawn, he Super Command through you. So obviously that's the thing he does.
Oh yeah,
What?
That was you about that, Chris.
I wasn't looking, honestly. I was shit.
that was actually a good quote. I want to bring that up. So Hell Pockets lost, and he went over to Segley and he's like, "So how much money did you lose on me?" And Segley said, "Are you serious? You think I'd bet on you?"
Now, why is it that Seglia never bets on Hell Pockets anymore?
I don't. What was it? He said it earlier. Ah,
It
God.
had to do with Dragon's Lounge and some guy.
Oh yeah, when he lost to Gibby at Dragon's Lounge, you would never bet on Chris again. So good job, Gibby. You make people not trust people anymore, but for good reason. You merely tell people the truth.
Snitch.
Yo, actions speak louder than words.
Oh my god. Yeah, man. I had him in that one match where I OCV'd him, and I felt really good about it too. And I was like, this is what it's supposed to be like. The universe is realigning on with itself. And then it slipped on a fucking banana peel. It fell down 10 flights of stairs and landed on a bed of spikes. And
So the real question is, are you on Sudoku Watch now? If you have to think about it, you're on Sudoku.
Well, I was making a joke with Art last night where I was saying I was going to quit to play League of Legends, and I was going to ask Walk to be the coach.
Yeah, I got home and I'm like, why did someone mention me on Twitter? And I'm like, what's Art talking about? I'm like, oh, he's going to switch to League of Legends. Well, I'd have to say, if your execution's poor, then you'll fit right in. You don't really need it.
It's your decision making we're worried about.
Yeah. And, well, I feel like you just stay out for 1 second too long. Only a couple hundred map units out there. You get blown up. So, you can only
Yeah.
hope.
Well, this is why I'm like, I've realized something that, and I haven't played seriously since Southtown shut down. The first time I played really seriously was at SCR, and I really think I just kind of got by on vapors there,
Mhm.
Like, some people were just like, oh shit, it's Hell Pockets, and I'm just like, yeah, it's Hell Pockets.
Oh, baby, it's Hell Pockets. Got him in tournament. All right.
Yeah, And then
I'm at least going to go 1 and 2.
And like that, and what nobody knows is that whole time I'm just like squeezing my butthole hella tight in every match. Like I'm going up against Wild Wallace, hella sweating and shit, going like, all right, I've beaten him 4 times, only one more time, but I haven't played this game in 5 months, so this is probably the turning point. And luckily I beat him, but
You beat him with like the sweat running down your butt crack. It sounds.
yeah, I did, man. Like I had swamp ass the entire time, and I'm just thinking like, this isn't. I didn't used to be like this, man. It used to be better. What happened to me? I think I lost my confidence at some point, and it had nothing to do with KOF. It had to do with something else, and I can't remember what happened.
Oh man, can we have an IPW special of how Chris got his groove back?
I want to win, but at the same time, like Abe was saying something to me that I don't know if it's necessarily the truth, but it did seem to have it had a profound. It made me think about it. He said,
And what was that statement?
Basically, he said that I was focusing a lot of my energy into commentary and not into playing, which is kind of true, because the last few chances I've had to play, I've been doing nothing but talking on the mic. I mean, I beat DJ Mirror 10-9. It shouldn't have even been that close. But for the most of the night, I was just sitting there, like I always do, having a beer and talking mess, and it was fun. I had a great time, but I got nothing out of it. And I go down to SCR and just barely like get 3rd place in my pool, which means I did nothing.
Congrats.
Yeah.
You definitely dropped a bunch of Farsi punishes.
Yeah, I definitely did that. And one sec, Paul, why are you in the chat and not moderating this show?
Oh, well, he's in chat and everything, but I want to point out something he said, which I'm pretty sure you read.
Yes.
Pockets. Lost your confidence when I beat the shit out of you in every single game ever. Which is probably true, because I'm old and I'm washed up, and you're still young and all that crap, and yeah,
You're still young and washed up.
No, he's not even washed up. He's just.
I would have to be good. Somebody said you have to be good before you can be washed up. You're just, you just drowned.
You're crusted over, dude.
I'm at the bottom of the ocean. Under the sea.
Yeah,
I am proud of
downward.
Something else Super FX brought up to you is that one of the reasons you might be losing is because you play not to lose rather than playing to win.
That is true.
Something a lot of people do. I want Super FX on here. God damn it, where the hell is he?
Well, he's technically logged in.
Oh, well, yeah, he's probably somewhere else. I don't know, but yeah, like that's an issue a lot of players have these days. They're more focusing on not losing rather than winning, which will only get you so far.
Yeah, you can't be safety first at all times.
No, you can't. And it just like I went in like me when I went into SCR, I decided after SCR I'm going to start taking this game seriously. Which it's a year, 3 months after the game came out, pretty late. But hey, I'm going to start trying to take the game seriously. But at SCR I didn't play to lose. I still wanted to win. I played against Gendy, and I kind of screwed around with him in my match, which I think it was Fixel told me it was messed up. I shouldn't have done that to him, but it's a force of habit. If I'm playing someone and I don't feel they're at a certain level, I'm just going to dick around with them because I know I can win, and that's a problem I have. That's why I lose some matches, even though I'm still ass at this game.
I mean, I've had that kind of feeling before, like when a lot of your player base is at a level where you pretty much don't have to try to win. You kind of don't want to try to win. It's almost like you're insulting yourself, right? You're just like, oh, why am I sweating so hard off of this guy? I should just, do some random shit and make him look stupid. And then you look stupid. But yeah, playing not to lose has definitely been one of my problems because, like, when I get into those situations, I'm just like, oh shit, I don't want to lose, so I'm going to just wait for him to mess up. And I totally forget the part where he's just, running at me hitting buttons. And then he's going to throw me in the corner. And I'm going to try to jab him out of it, even though I know jab won't beat throw. I've tried it a million times, and it pisses me off every time. But, yeah, it's something that I have struggled with.
Super Vex, you in here?
Yeah, I'm here.
There he is.
So, what do you have to say on the subject of playing to win rather than playing not to lose, or whatever?
Well, it just feels like, people always look at the Japanese. In fact, Hano is in the chat talking about the Japanese do the same thing where they play not to lose. But the difference between almost every American player and like the average high-level Japanese player is those guys all play super safe. Like, they minimize risk on everything they do. And most American players play very risky. They take a lot of chances, even if they don't know they're taking chances. Like, the mastery of the game is it's nowhere near even. Like, the average American player has a small amount of knowledge and takes big risks even when they don't have to. Whereas a lot of the players they're watching on YouTube have an immense amount of knowledge and know when to take an actual risk or when to just kind of let it go. So for Americans get scared when they play because they don't know shit. Like, they'll be afraid of, what's this guy going to do when he runs into me? When, there's really only 3 or 4 options normally. But if you don't know what the other character is capable of, or even what the other player is capable of, you're going to get scared. And you're going to be like, oh, I don't want to lose to this guy. I don't want to lose to this guy. And the minute you start thinking like that, you're probably going to lose to that guy.
Fuck.
Also, you gotta learn how to give away throwaway characters. Just to see how somebody plays. Like, just see how stupid they are and make a mental note of it. It's like, if you can beat somebody with, sweep over and over and over again, why should you do anything different?
Yeah, that's actually what I did to Gendy.
The situation sounds familiar. I mean, not just from your sake, but from something that Sanchez did.
And I think that's actually a huge problem with beginning to intermediate level American players. I know I've gone through it at times myself, is that when something is so obvious or so easy like that, it doesn't feel necessarily good to win like that because you're like, wow, I'm just doing sweep over and over again. This isn't actually really that fun for me. But the simple fact is, if it works, you have to do it. Because it might just be that the other guy is expecting you to do advanced things. And, well, if he's going to lose to sweep, then he's an idiot. So you better keep doing it, or you're going to lose to somebody who's a lot worse than you.
Yeah, dude, if it ain't broke.
I don't want to lose no more. Just knocking at my front door. It's an everyday struggle, man.
Yeah. And I think the other half of it is, at least for me, I'm just not comfortable with the game anymore. There were times where, my hands were just trying to remember what I was supposed to do in certain situations, and it didn't used to be like that. And that's just, I'm assuming that's just ring rust, I can't believe that in such a short amount of time, my hands have degraded to, fucking Balrog gloves.
Well, to be honest with you, I don't think it's ring rust. I think it's that you never had knowledge of the game, but you had a lot of confidence. And now in the time that you took off playing the game seriously, a lot of people have as much knowledge of the game as you, or even in a lot of cases, probably more at this point.
I would believe that too, yeah.
So it's not about you not being able to do combos. It's about you just not knowing what you're dealing with and them knowing what to do against you.
Well, I gotta fix that freaking stat, man.
Yeah, there are a lot of things you have to work on. Like, I'm not trying to insult you or anything, but I mean, there's a lot of things you have to work on because you were more. One of the other issues you're having is that you're not as consistent as you were before,
Yeah, that's something that's bothering me.
and it could play into all the stuff that Paul was just talking about.
Well,
That, or you just don't care. You suck.
that's kind of the other part. Like, there's been times where I'm just not committed, and at least to playing the match. And I think I do that when I feel like I'm going to lose, you know. And then I'm just like, well, fuck it. Let's just spill all the spaghetti.
That sounds a lot like LeBron's problem as well. Like he'll be doing good, and then like he'll choke a bit, and then from that his mindset just completely changes. Like he was even telling me about that on the drive home, and it's just like I really wish that he could break out of that mindset. Like me, I'm not good. I want to get better, and I definitely have my approach right now. I guess isn't either to win nor to lose, but rather just to try and learn about what I can do because I have such little experience with these games. But I mean, you know, someone who at least has that much valid knowledge should just not try to let emotions or feelings sway how they play. You know, I mean, I've always been someone who says like it doesn't matter who's sitting next to you. Yeah, you got to win. Like you can't think about who they are or what they do.
Yeah.
I guess you think about what they do, but
There's that, but that's always kind of been a thing. Like ever since I've been on SRK, one of the most talked about concepts in playing in tournaments is if you drop a combo, if you mess up a punish, just move on. If you dwell on it, it's gonna wreck you. So it's something that's not new, and it's something that every player has to overcome in their own way. I think that's why you see a lot of really arrogant or cocky players do well, is that because they'll drop something and they'll be like, doesn't matter, I'm going to get him next time, and I will. Yeah. And that's why they tend to do better than people who just don't have that confidence.
Man, my ears are burning.
Uh-oh. What the heck is this?
I don't think anybody could ever discourage you to do a DDT, Alex.
No, dude. It'd be like I could be at EVO Finals and be like, hey, man, you only need to land one more hit on MOV. You got 100% life lead on him. You could just chip him. Time to DDT.
And then Alex gets reverse broomed because he's
just
still trying to do DDT.
Yep. It'll be on my gravestone.
Yeah, I get that because I'm actually the same way. That's why I lost, or one of the reasons why I lost 4-Leaf this week, outside of him just demolishing me. Because I could have taken out one of his characters that ended up killing me with, a simple combo, and I ended up like, hey, let's just go for a reset instead. Makes much more sense to do that.
Here lies Alexander Sanchez. He tried to fucking DDT.
Just remember me. Remember me how I lived, trying to DDT.
I mean, it is hard when you drop something, especially if it's something you've been practicing a lot lately. Especially in KOF 13, this is a huge thing. I see people just drop HD combos left and right, and sometimes it'll be like the tide turns in the match immediately. When half the time, if you dropped an HD combo, especially if you made it about halfway, you didn't really lose anything. You lost damage you didn't have already, but you still got a certain amount of damage, and you're not getting punished for it. Let it go. Just go on to the next mix-up. Just doesn't matter anymore. Because that was potential damage. It was never a sure thing, because you can never tell. So just let it go and move on. And if you don't, it's probably going to haunt you.
I think it could also be a thing that really breaks people down in King of Fighters 13, though, is the fact that the way damage output works, if you whiff something and someone just, whiff punishes with the straight HD and 100% you, that can be really discouraging. That in just 5 seconds you went from to 100% to dead, and now you only at, maybe your last character, and this guy still got, 2 or 3. And, just from something like that, you think, wow, I really wish I wouldn't have thrown out that laggy move and just got instantly capitalized on it and put in this position. I mean, in other games, it doesn't seem that drastic all the time, but it's just always a discouraging type thing. So I could see that the whole high risk, high reward, or actually, not even high risk, just high reward on the enemy's point.
No
At least
regrets.
that's what happens to me. I'll be like, oh, I'm doing okay. I push C. Well, he jumped completely over me, and now I'm dead.
Yeah, well, and that's part of the learning experience of 13 is that coming from Street Fighter, I'm used to, not every sweep is great, but Terry's sweep in 13 is so bad that it's like, oh, we're just having pokes and we're having footsies. Oh, I did sweep. Oh, he hyper hopped. I'm dead. Well, that was fun.
Yeah, like it's really bad too, because like if you say like you assume they're gonna do that, so you cancel it into something. There's nothing you can cancel it into. He's just gonna get knocked out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you basically have to take an equally high risk and cancel it into rising tackle immediately.
Yes.
Which neither of those is a good choice.
And then if the rising tackle gets blocked, you can super cancel into power geyser and.
I feel like maybe the best option is like maybe a crack shot, like go low and maybe EX crack shot if you really want to commit to throwing that out. But even then,
dude,
I mean, that's
Terry
not that
sweep
great.
is Terry sweep is the gateway drug to bad decisions.
Well, I don't want to get too much into technology here because we can save that for another show. But like, it does have its uses. Like I've realized that like over time, like I used to think that was the shittiest thing. I never hit it, and then one day I was like, you know what? I've noticed some weird things happen whenever I hit down D into anything else. So let's see how this works out. And I discovered it's actually a good way to deal with people who like to overjump.
It's not. I mean, it's not an unusable move by any stretch of the imagination. I was just using it as an example.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, so I didn't want to get too much into it.
It's not like other characters like Kyo who can sweep instantly into Rekka, which covers the hop space.
Yeah.
So, it's like you can go you can sweep into Fireball, but that's in the event that someone wants to continue to block.
Well, is my intervention over yet?
We were gonna get you to stop drinking when you play.
Oh man, I gotta go to Dragon Lounge tonight though.
Well, see, that's one thing that everyone agrees on that ruins your game. You just get drunk and then you just...
Yeah, I mean, it's like, what's more important to you, playing the game or getting drunk?
Oh man, don't ask me that.
No, it's cool, like, drinking and everything is cool, but, like, for instance, you're going to play all these different people in money matches at NCR. You really, really cannot drink at all. And don't, like, okay, for instance, let's say you play Sanchez, lose to him. Don't let that discourage you for the next match you have. Just, wipe the slate clean and go for it again. Because that's one of the problems you have, too. When you lose, it's like, oh man, I lost. And that's pretty much it.
Time to hit the bottle.
Yeah, and that's bad.
Nah, it is. I agree. It used to be a fun activity. Now it's just...
But did you guys cover everything else?
I mean, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Wow,
this was an interesting experiment in the very slightest. It's like being orderly is good, but I feel like honestly we're being a little boring, man. Like we gotta turn up that heat,
man.
Oh,
all right,
all right.
Since Paul's back, I can put the white guy voice away.
Hey, Orleans!
Can you bang essay? Like,
Indeed.
anybody else fucking harder with clear today with like trying to get like fucking this this Hindu bullshit he was doing where it's like, oh man, Vishnu does like a sick 360 ollie and hands out man. Like, Carter, stop. Like just stick to what you know, which is like ejaculating into socks and selling your mom for money. I was doing that earlier.
Yeah, I saw that. He's talking about how he'd sell a raffle $10 for his mom.
Wait, but
Yeah,
isn't his mom that Jacaranda's chick? You can't.
I thought that was Tatsu's mom.
Is it? I don't know. She's everyone's mom from what everyone tells me.
I thought JJ was Carter's mom.
I'm pretty sure hobbits reproduce asexually.
Think so?
You saying somebody just shout out at Hanzo Gonzo?
You said it, man, and you got it right. So it's like, Like, I mean, I kind of get the concept he was going for, but I just feel that there wasn't enough, research done on his behalf to really get the Hindu audience to follow him. It's like, sure, you dropped the Vishnu here and there, and you mentioned Dharma and Greg and whatever the fuck it was. It just didn't really bring it home for me. I thought he could have done better. I'm just really worried that Carter is slipping.
Well,
Slipping, falling, can't get up.
somebody yesterday did, say he was a new Roger Dodger.
Oh, yeah.
That's
That's
pretty hateful.
fucked up.
So, I mean, in that case, he'd be able to beat me, whereas you couldn't, Chris.
That's true. This is true.
All right, I'm actually done ragging on Chris, but that was a good one. I had to go for.
I mean, it was right there.
Yeah, it was just one.
It's like
of
going to
those-
the store. It's
it was a
like, I really don't need to buy this ice cream, but it's only $1 for a whole pint. I mean, come on.
I mean, that was a pretty good got him. Chat, can we have a got him?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw mine in there too.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you. This Carter stuff. I'm worried for our fellow IPW spokespeople, I guess.
Alex, I feel like you should play Hanzo at NCR.
For the Moonies?
I'm not even sure. Yeah, man. It's like, I'm
I
pretty
thought you guys
sure.
were gonna throw down in 3S, right? Oh, was that Chris,
Yeah.
right?
No,
Hey, I think
that's
that's
Hell
Chris,
Pockets
actually.
and-
Really?
Yeah.
Man, I'm sorry. When I made a lot of those money matches, I'll admit I was drinking.
Hey, a
Now
man
you
keeps
see.
his word.
That would explain why you.
Yeah, you money matched me
matched
too.
Alex
Waku
again
Waku 7,
in
$100.
both-
Pretty sure you said that.
in both KOF 13 and Guilty Gear
I don't even.
for 50 apiece, and I'm not making that up.
There's archives, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have archives of you giving your money to Alex.
All right. No, if that's not a wake up call, I don't know what else is.
I was about to say you might want to go back a week ago and listen to those archives. So
Like, who the hell
who's
is that?
supposed to be
Stop it!
because you also challenged Juicebox.
Really?
Yeah, you challenged Juice to $100.
Oh, he doesn't watch this show. He'll never know about it.
I think I should go tweet at him. Just
Oh no!
Oh, and Hell Pockets, just so you know, the only person who had your back the whole time was Walkman.
Thanks, Walkman.
I have to stay neutral though.
Man, you
No,
are
it
such a
wasn't-
pussy.
Whatever.
But, still, actually, speaking of NCR, there's still no announcement.
I think I heard that it's going to be happening in October now of 2015.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
We
That's
pushed
great.
it back. And instead of it being in a college, it will be in a preschool with a really big auditorium.
Yeah. We'll be in the multi-purpose room.
Yeah. The seats are going to be kind of weird to sit in because they're plastic, but, we'll make it happen.
They'll be finger painting like special events and like the sides and stuff like that. They got trikes and tetherball. I know you all love tetherball.
Only terrorists hate tetherball.
Man, I just read that quote from Hemingway, and
But in all seriousness, I have no idea when NCR is supposed to be. I would assume it will be roughly the same time it was last year, but it's kind of bounced around in the last few years. So
I'm going to say it's happening sometime today and before Evo. I'm going to give it that time frame.
nice.
that's pretty solid.
Yeah,
Am I wrong?
Phantom Knot in the chat just said April, and I think it's probably end of March, early April. That's what my guess is. But I honestly don't know.
NCR has to make worthy trailer first. Man, that's the easy part.
It's gotta
Anything's
be,
going to be better than the SCR trailer, man.
It's whenever the next MLG event's happening, I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
Wait, hold on.
Doing
I
that-
take
we're doing
offense.
that again?
Chris.
Yeah, I just
What?
want it to be after NCR. Or after Final Round, at least, instead of before. Because, Final Round's a month and a half away, almost.
If that.
Yeah, it has to be at least in April.
Did I offend you, Sanchez?
Yeah, you said you had something against the SCR trailer. What did you have? What did you have against it?
For me, it felt like I was watching a short film, and I did not invest. I did not invest in trailers as I do as much as I invest in short films. So if I'm going to watch a trailer, I hope not to watch a short film.
Speaking of which, what's with all these trailers coming out being like super long?
Yeah. I kind of feel like they got the ball rolling on that shit.
So you're telling me you're not looking at this at the right perspective. You're paying nothing to see this trailer for a tournament you're going to.
Yes.
And you got way more than you bargained for as far as rap music is concerned. Rap music in the heaviest quotations ever. And you're displeased?
I'm not displeased. I'm just saying that it was not as good as I expected it to be.
Okay.
Is this
You're going to go on the record at this one.
I'm going on the record saying that I do not like the SCR trailer as much as I like the upcoming NCR trailer, which is will be more awesome based on guessing alone.
Fact.
Is there a category like called hipster hop?
Oh yes, I played it earlier.
Oh,
Yeah, and we hate you for it.
Yeah,
don't we?
that's why we hate Chris.
Yeah, I only
also-
listen to that hardcore gangsta shit. Okay, man, don't you be pulling that around here.
You only listen to
anymore.
the proper voice.
Calling all proper
Did somebody
boys.
say proper boys? Uh-oh.
So we actually got a question in. The question was sent in an hour ago, but so Richard Duck is asking if PC KOF 13 online is good enough. Can I Play Winner set up an online league?
Oh well, yeah, I guess I'm gonna say
Yeah.
yes.
I
Damn.
mean, it could happen.
Yeah, it
We'll-
can happen.
We'll see if it does happen. I mean, there's a lot of ifs involved there.
That's
that-
me saying yes. I guess I'll probably be the one having to do it at this point.
There
But
you go.
I mean, it's like, is KOF going to be on PC?
yeah, that's the
maybe.
deal.
Will the online be good? Well, maybe. Can I Play Winner do the above if the above things are true? Yes. Will it? It's maybe.
I'll definitely say that it can happen. It
Yeah.
can happen. There's nothing that's stopping it from happening.
Oh, there's plenty stopping it from happening.
Oh no. I'm saying there's no way that it can't happen.
Oh yes, in the grand.
But there are many a chance it won't happen, as Paul said.
Fucking photo, man. Gibby, don't distract me like that.
I forgot you have ADD.
Yes, I do have
most
ADD.
Fighting game scene.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a good thing if it did happen. If not, like Walkman said, he can do something because he's always home.
Maybe they'll have lobbies. Then everyone will be happy because you can have endless KOF lobbies.
What would be cool rather than lobbies is just a way to spectate as well. Even if it's like a 2-man room. I want to be able to watch games.
Yeah.
Well, as long as spectating doesn't cause the wonderful GGPO lag spikes.
Oh, yeah,
that's
it's
always
like...
the best.
I'd prefer
Yeah.
no
Give me-
spectating than.
Speaking of which, this is just going to be a little thing because I know you don't want to go too much into stuff like this. But when you used to play Garo a lot on GGPO, like you would have like 17 spectators. Like,
And more.
well, I know, I'm saying like probably on average. I don't know,
Oh,
at least
yeah.
when I saw. But like, there was tremendous input lag from those points, weren't there?
Oh yeah. Whenever Knock and I would play, we'd get anywhere between like 50 and 100 viewers or spectators,
Mm-hmm.
and it would be almost impossible to play. Like we live about a 10-minute drive away from each other, and it got to the point where trying to play while people were going in and out of the room was like trying to play on Kylera while one of us was in America, the other was in Brazil.
That's really awful.
Yeah, it's very awful.
Man, I think the caveat of us being on point with topics is we pretty much run out of shit to talk about pretty early.
No, we still have something else to talk about. These
What's
fucking shitty ass trailers.
Oh, you're
what the
talking
fuck is
about. Which one are you talking about?
Like, what the fuck is it with
All of
these
them.
trailers, like, depicting fighting game players as these, like, pizza-having slobs all over their desks at the,
Oh yeah.
that wake up at, like, 2 in the afternoon to fucking go to a Street Fighter tournament.
In case anybody's wondering, Alex is talking about the trailer for Red Fight District.
Yeah, that one and some other one that was, like, for a French tournament. That would
Yeah.
seem like it's exactly the same thing, but just for a different tournament, and it was in French. And it's like,
Jean-Claude
Maybe
Van Damme.
maybe that's how they are in those countries, or they're trying to be like making fun of Americans.
Well, that's the thing. It's like their depiction of us definitely seems like something that would have been on like Two Guys, a Girl in the Pizza Place or some shit. Where it's like, oh,
Yeah.
look at those silly Americans. They really love Ninja Turtles.
It's kind of like how Big Bang Theory apparently does the.
Oh
nerd-
God.
No.
Yeah. Oh, ha ha! We're so savvy. We say something, we go, "Oh, computer," and then everybody laughs. Like,
There was some guy on Twitter. I wish I remembered his name because it was actually a really brilliant observation where he said that Big Bang Theory is nerd blackface.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
You know,
That's
I'm not gonna go that far. 'cause
I
think
would.
that's
I mean,
pretty damn offensive.
no. The thing is, it's like whatever. Like that. It's sure it does generalize jokes, but the part where they don't say jokes and there's still an audience laughing is really awful.
Well, but like I hate the show, but
Yeah.
it's like G4. It's catering to what it thinks is pop culture, or I guess nerd culture, or whatever, and it seems to have hit something. I mean, I can't imagine there's a lot of people who would play like fighting games or FPS or or even like WoW and LOL who would watch that show, but somebody's watching it. It's getting renewed every year.
That's because it's CBS.
Do you think that there's like the likelihood that they actually create like a fake sense of being a nerd or a geek or a gerd or whatever the fuck you want to call it now that people subscribe to over time just because it's so prevalent?
Well, that's always been true though. There's always been like that stigma against everybody who's been into like the nerd culture stuff or just games at all. That you had no life, you couldn't communicate with regular people, you were just a damaged human being. And now it's funny because everybody's like that supposedly. I don't know.
Ha ha! His social awkwardness yet knowledge of technology is really hilarious to me, the common man.
Like I know plenty of nerds and they don't fucking talk like that. They're well except for Walkman, but.
Well, that's different. Okay.
But no, I don't know anybody. Everybody that is even remotely nerdy has like a firm grasp of social skills. Well, at least as much as a nerd could have, I guess.
Yeah.
But then, and as far as these trailers go, like I don't feel like they're necessarily trying to make fun of Americans, but I feel like they're trying to turn this into something it's not. Where they're like, hey, these players are just regular dudes like you who don't play fighting games. They like to sleep till 3 in the afternoon with their pants off, half off their ass, and you know what it is? It's almost like the film personification of that old Tekken photo of the black kid in his room looking hella strung out. That's what it reminded me of. It's like they put that shit to film or something.
Too good.
I'm waiting for the trailer that just has the guy go into his boss asking if he could take a Saturday off because he wants to go to a tournament.
We're not that far away from that. There probably will be. I mean, we had that mini drama Street Fighter thing that they had, right? The Street Fighter, where they had a cameo from Alex Valle or some shit, whatever. Like, I don't think it's too far off that one day there will come like an FGC sitcom. Or it may not be just FGC centric; it might just be gaming centric. But there will be elements of the FGC in there. Hell, like Jason Mewes is already making that fucking movie.
What movie?
What the hell's the name of that movie? It looks fucking horrible.
Jay and Silent Bob play WoW?
No, Jason Mewes gamer movie? Shit, I don't know. I'm gonna look it up right now. Noobs.
Okay, what's it about? Just
It's
gamers?
about two guys it's about a bunch of friends who want to go compete at a MLG-esque tournament.
I definitely have heard of this movie. It looks really bad.
Yes, it does. So,
Well, the thing about it becomes that here's the problem on both sides. On one side, you have a lot of shows, networks, what have you, trying to cash in on stuff that people find entertaining or interesting. Video games, we're a generation of people who latched onto video games, so people realize that, hey, video games make money. What are the people who play video games interested in? The problem then becomes is that we are so violently opposed to people who are not quote unquote genuine getting on our subculture that we've created this whole idea of fake nerds, and that's where all this shit about women being fake nerds comes from. And really what we should just be doing is saying, I just don't like it. It's not for me. Like, why does it matter if, a girl walks down the street wearing a Captain America shirt and she hasn't read, the last 30 years of Captain America?
Because she's not giving me the pussy.
I know most guys haven't either. I mean, I have a Captain America shirt. I've probably read in my life less than 20 issues of Captain America. I like the character. I followed him in crossovers. But I can't say I have a collection. And most guys can't. So,
man, you're a fraud. Somebody should expose you.
It's the same with Big Bang Theory. I think it's a terrible show, but people jumping on them for knowing spouting computer lingo or wearing comic book shirts. Who cares? It's just a crappy show. It's not offensive unless you think it's offensively crappy.
Oh no, it's offensively crappy.
Well, that might be.
From a comedic mechanic's point of view, it's a fucking horribly written show.
Well,
scientifically speaking, it's butt ass.
Yes.
But I imagine middle-aged white people love it.
Oh yeah, totally. They love all that shit, man.
Yeah, dude. Let's just have an episode where we kind of parody Magic the Gathering, and people will love it.
Yeah. Anyway, wow, we are over time. But this is such
Does
a
that
good
mean we get
conversation.
paid more?
We'll have to ask the producer.
Yeah, we get paid 10 times what we were making before.
Hell yeah.
Damn, that's a good deal.
Taking it to the bank. But yeah, so that's pretty much going to do it for today's episode of SDR. Next week we will conclude my intervention. Actually, no, it's already over.
Also, when will we be doing the SCR money matches?
The SCR money match replays, we're looking to do it possibly this weekend. Hopefully early, I'm guessing. I don't know if anything is happening this weekend, but we don't want to run together. We don't want to run up on anything. But we'll discuss that and have an official announcement for that. And it should be good. You're going to get a lot of people shit-talking in the background. I don't even know why we're going to commentate on it. We should just, Mystery Science Theater, that shit.
Yeah. Mystery Science Theater is fun.
Yes.
That's the best thing to do. And the matches, what matches do we have that are going to be featured? Because you're the one who sent all of them in.
Other than the Reiki versus Sanchez one, we have Infer US versus Sanchez. I don't think I had the Wild Wallace versus Sanchez, so that's last week.
I sent that in.
Okay, well, we have that one also. And we also have me versus Juicebox. And we also have Fixel versus Juicebox.
Do we have Tyron versus Juicebox?
Yes, technically we do.
Okay.
If there's a strong enough demand for it, we will show Tyram SRK versus Juicebox.
Cool.
Yeah. Anyway, other than that, like I said before, that's pretty much going to do it. Are there tournaments? What? What are you talking about? Oh, they're talking in the damn chat.
Yeah, there's going to be the run back this Thursday for KOF. Wednesday night fights. Both of those are coming back from break. I don't know of any other major tournaments or major events going on outside of.
I did hear something's happening at MGL, but I don't know the specifics on it. But it's going to be this Friday, and KOF will be there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Go KOF.
Yes, go KOF. Hopefully they'll get enough people to do something other than a round robin this time. Yes.
Yeah,
we are pushing a little on the time here. So.
Yes. All right. So anyway, we're signing. Who's going to handle the sign off this time?
I got it.
All right.
So sorry for being a lot late today. I had other things to do, but for all the guys, thanks for listening, and for all the guys at Super Desperation Radio, good night and good luck.
See you.